Hello everybody, my name is Cupits, and welcome to my essential follower mod list for Skyrim. This particular video is very heavily opinion-based. It's a collection of my very favorite follower-related mods. Of course, there are an absolute ton of follower mods available for Skyrim, so that means this video may not cover your very favorite mod. Regardless, I think this compilation will include at least one or two mods that will pique your interest if you haven't already heard of them. So, if you're looking for more mods to fill up your mod list, or you just want to know which follower mods I esteem very highly, then this video will absolutely be for you. And if you're looking to see if these mods are also available for the special edition, just make sure to check the bottom of the screen. If the mod is available for both versions, you'll be able to see it there. Nevertheless, the mods are primarily based around the standard edition, however quite a few are ported over to the special edition. So without further ado, let's get into the first mod on the list. First up, we have Amazing Follower Tweaks. With this mod installed, you can have up to 5 followers instead of the limited 1 in vanilla. In addition, it changes some of the AI patterns of the followers. They will be more likely to avoid traps and forgive friendly fire. You can also set 3 different outfits for each specific follower. 1 normal outfit, 1 city outfit, and a home outfit that will be cycled through depending on your location. Also, you can set your followers to be leveled up automatically or manually. You can also command them into certain poses. In addition, you can get them to make a camp, which is actually particularly useful if you're using something like INIGO or Frostfall. Another addition is the fact that your followers will find more interesting idols to fall into when you're walking around a town or an inn. So instead of just following you around, staring into the distance, they might actually use some items or have a snack, maybe read a book. That's nice not just because it adds a little bit of ambience, but also because it makes the NPCs clog up the doorways a little bit less. Another feature that is actually pretty specific to this particular follower overhaul mod, as there are many out there, is that you can turn your followers into werewolves or vampires. Meaning if you're doing a supernatural playthrough, then you can actually recruit your followers into that as well. All of these things are easy to access in part of the dialogue options added by this mod. Really, there are a ridiculous amount of options for altering behavior, movement, and appearance. This mod provides you with more options than pretty much any other follower mod. And another extremely helpful aspect of AFT is that it conflicts with very few mods. So if you have an extremely extensive mod list, then you won't need to worry about compatibility for the most part. And with that, we move on to the next mod. The first actual follower on this list is probably the most universally adored follower mod. INIGO, a sassy but devoted Khajiit, is definitely one of the most impressive companion mods out there. Something I found surprising when I first started using this mod is that INIGO has shockingly good voice acting considering he's a Khajiit. And of course, if you choose to, you'll get to hear many different unique lines in his voice in a variety of different situations while exploring the region. Really though, he has thousands of lines of dialogue that will be tailored to your particular character, quest, status, or location. His commentary extends far beyond any of the vanilla NPCs. And I personally think that this is a pretty awesome feature because it makes replaying locations or quests a lot more interesting when you're not sure what INIGO will think about any given situation. And fantastically, if you want just a little bit of his commentary here and there, you can change the frequency of his chattering in his options. One of the best things about his lines of dialogue is they're actually pretty funny and amusing, yet they don't take you out of any particular scenario you've found yourself in. In other words, he's a funny follower, but a relatively immersive one. He also has a small quest you will get the chance to play through if you let him talk about his past. Overall, he's just a joy to have following you around the region of Skyrim.
My brother and I never knew our real parents. We were found abandoned in a smelly shack by a soldier on his way to battle. We melted his heart with our fuzzy little faces, and he carried us to the nearest town.
INIGO also has a little bit of a backstory that is intertwined with your character. This is something you can tweak while talking to him, and is mainly there to help give context and character development to INIGO's position as your follower. There are also tons of options to configure INIGO's combat behavior. For instance, you can tell him how aggressive or passive to be, what weapons he should use, what distance he should fight at, and many other options. In my opinion, INIGO is an excellent follower because he's very humorous while not taking you out of the game too much. An important thing to keep in mind if you do install the latest version of INIGO is that you should only use the custom commands built into INIGO's dialogue and not amazing follower tweaks or any other companion overhaul mod. This can mess with INIGO's AI a little bit, so just be careful of that. With that warning in place, let's get to the next mod. ARISSA the Wandering Rogue is possibly my favorite follower on the Nexus. Her character is generally really likable, along with excellent voice acting and really good audio quality. As awesome as a lot of follower mods are, a lot of them really lack in either department. Take a listen for yourself.
ARISSA Acius O'Pharaoh, pleased to make your acquaintance. If you need a lock picked or a trap disarmed, I'm your woman. Stay out of my way, I'll try to stay out of yours. So lead the way, my mighty warrior. I'm ready to get out of here.
A neat feature unique to this mod is that she has a built-in regard system, which is basically like an affection system you see in many other RPG games. A bit similar to the one in Fallout 4, actually. For example, some of the things she approves of are heroism and cunning, good sneaking, and thievery. Things she disapproves of are murder, intimidation, and cannibalism. In other words, she's a thief with a good heart. Do your best to avoid the actions she disapproves of when she's in your service, otherwise she will eventually leave you. On the other hand, if you do many of the actions she enjoys, you unlock more features like her gifting you items or the ability for her to be summoned from anywhere. Another cool feature included in ARISSA is a short questline that begins when you try to recruit her into your service. Also, something that's pretty neat about her is her unique appearance and custom clothing that really sets her apart from other NPCs, yet also looks appropriate in the game. In addition, she's equipped with intelligent movement, so you can let her roam freely around a city where you go tend to your errands. I really think that people that enjoy lore-friendly or immersive mods will love ARISSA most of all, because I think she fits the bill in that regard more than many others. Next up, we have Convenient Horses. This is a mod that provides many features, but a handful that are specific to followers. Just broadly, this is a mod that provides appearance and behavior customization features for your horse. All of these you can access in the MCN menu. But there's one particular aspect of this mod that I find to be essential when I'm using any followers in a playthrough. This mod adds the ability for when you're riding around on your own horse to automatically give your followers horses as well. You can even customize which horse breed you want each of your followers to use in the MCN menu. Another super neat feature added by Convenient Horses is that there's a bunch of horse armors that you configure to place on your horse or your followers' horses. So this means that you don't just get to customize the breed of your followers' horses, but also their external appearance. Usually when I sit down to play Skyrim, I don't fast travel or I have it disabled, so this mod definitely enhances the experience of using extra followers. Moving on, we have Relationship Dialogue Overhaul. This is a mod that overhauls almost all of the dialogue in the game. Townspeople, guild members, and of course followers. Ultimately, it aims to make NPCs' behavior more appropriate towards you depending on how they feel about you. The mod author achieves this by using or removing and switching around lines of dialogue depending on your particular relationship with an NPC. In fact, the author even uses some lines of dialogue that weren't actually included in the finished vanilla game. This moving around of the dialogue is achieved because, as you know, most of the generic NPCs are voiced by the same handful of people and in the same kind of voice types. So it makes it possible to pull lines from one NPC and give them to another without being able to notice too much of a difference. So beyond varying the phrases NPCs will say and preventing NPCs from repeating themselves, it gives you the option to make nearly any NPC your follower if they have a high affection for you. In addition, the followers that you do have will have much more to say in terms of the phrases that they use in response to your commands, or the things they'll say in combat. Also, if you have a spouse as a follower, they will no longer forgo their spouse dialogue lines when you recruit them, meaning they'll behave consistently regardless of where they are. Overall, this mod enhances the experience of interacting with NPCs in general, but is an absolute must for expanding the dialogue and behavior of your followers. And of course, this mod has a bunch of options that you can configure in the MCN menu if you wish to. Next, we have interesting NPCs. This is one of my all-time favorite NPC and quest mods. It has plenty of features not regarding followers, so for now let's just focus briefly on what it does and then move on to the follower features themselves. This mod adds over 250 uniquely voiced NPCs along with over 50 quests. So you can find these NPCs in taverns and cities, and sometimes some more unique locations. In my opinion, they're placed pretty immersively, so to speak, so unless you talk to them, you might not even notice that they're there. The aspect that is relevant to this mod compilation, however, is that it adds over 25 followers with unique voices and backstories. They also each have unique lines of commentary depending on where you take them. One of the best things that I can say about this mod is that there are so many distinctly different personalities that it's nearly inevitable that you'll find a follower in this mod that will absolutely be to your liking. And in fact, these followers are quite cool because sometimes you might even encounter situations where they actually interact with each other, or they have quests that are intertwined with each other. The storytelling in this mod is top-notch. The character development in this mod is top-notch. Just about everything in this mod is top-notch. Not only do I consider this mod essential because of the absolute ton of NPCs it adds to make the world's atmosphere more interesting, but I always find one or two of the interesting NPCs to take along my journey through Skyrim at some point.
People treat me differently because of my station, but they still respect me as a man, which is more than I could say for my father. The last time I saw the old toad, all he did was bark orders and gripe. He complained my pheasant roast was overcooked.
Now we've got a pretty simple mod that I thought was particularly charming, if in a more funny, dark kind of way. Slave Pack RIEKLING Porter is a very creative mod that allows you a little companion RIEKLING that will follow you around and hold plenty of your loot. He even has a custom voice that is pretty dang cute in my opinion.
Whack whack, lone, whack whack, different color, tribal, no, like a whack whack color.
Now if you want to recruit this little guy, you'll have to head over to a small island in Solstheim named Whack Whack. Once there, you'll need to complete a very short quest to add him as a follower. Keep in mind, this little guy can help in combat, but he's pretty weak, although luckily essential. Overall, I really love the design of this mod, I love the voice of this mod, I love how unique this mod is. So if you're looking for a little bit of a differently themed companion, I highly recommend this. And lastly, just as a fun honorable mention, we have Dovabit. This is an adorable little rabbit companion that comes with a variety of different appearances. When this mod first came out, I just thought it was the cutest thing in the world, and so I kind of adopted it as my little profile picture. You can find Dovabit in Dragon's Reach near Farengar's study. He functions pretty much as a companion just to carry your things. However, he can actually help you lure enemies if you want him to, but he also has a very high stealth rating and will never actually initiate combat, so you won't have to worry too much about him getting in your way. Another neat bonus is that he can be commanded to harvest alchemy ingredients, something that he does very, very well. If you want to customize his appearance a little bit, you can give him almost any helmet in the game and he will equip it. And of course, he will remain just as adorable, but you can choose what variants of adorable you want him to be. I love Dovabit a lot, mainly because he's cute, but he can also be a helpful little companion at your side. And with that, it is the end of the video already. If you liked any of the mods in this particular video, then absolutely remember to endorse them on the mod page. If you want to see more mod compilations or just Skyrim related content in general, I recommend that you hit subscribe. And if you're looking for more mod compilations, you can click on the screen right now. I have many more Skyrim mod compilations. I'm sure there will be one to your liking. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.